The Broncos have made their first move in 2025 NFL free agency, and I like it. They are signing former 49ers safety, former All-Pro safety Talanoa Hufanga to a 3-year, $45 million contract with $20 million guaranteed. I'll talk more about the money side of things. I know it's a little bit boring, but just instant reaction, kind of surface level take from this. I love this move for Denver. They needed some help at safety. P.J. Locke did not get the job done last year. Brandon Jones is a quality safety, but I think he's got that ceiling, and Hufanga's got the all-pro caliber ceiling. In 2022, Talanoa, former fifth-round pick, started all 17 games for the Niners, and he was magnificent. 4 interceptions, including a pick 6, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 9 pass breakups. However, the issue with Hufanga has been lack of availability the last 2 years. You see, in 2023, he tore his ACL almost halfway through the season. Then he comes back in 2024, and he just doesn't quite look like that 2022 All-Pro version. He battled ankle and wrist injuries. He only played 7 games in 2024, recovering from an ACL injury and then dealing with new injuries on top of that. So that's why the Niners let him go. But $20 million guaranteed. Do not get attached to the sticker price here. I beg of you to not look at. They just gave Hufanga, a guy who has missed a lot of games the last 2 years. He's only played a total of 17 games over the past 2 seasons. He's missed 50% of games since 2022. $45 million. That's way too much money. This is a 2-year, $20 million contract. If things aren't going well, they can move on before year 3. If things are going great and he's healthy, then you got an incredible bargain. You got a all-pro safety for $15 million a year. That is a home run type of signing. So make sure to subscribe, by the way, as more signings come out. We're going to break it down for you. We're going to get you guys a video before anyone else. So if you are looking for a go-to Broncos YouTube channel for all things Denver during free agency, I invite you, no, I implore you, hit that sub button. If you don't, someone's going to come steal your dog tonight. So let that sink in. That is your fault now. As for Hufanga and the safety room in general, but more importantly, the defense, the Broncos defense just got better. And it was already a great defense. The only weak spots were safety and inside linebacker. And with all the good inside linebackers being snatched up and re-signed before free agency even started, I'm not surprised Denver goes, well, we can't pay Zach Bond or Nick Bolton because they've already been re-signed. So the money that we budgeted for those guys, let's just spread it out over DJ Jones and maybe a little bit more to someone like Hufanga to get him to leave San Francisco for Denver. But now this Broncos DB section. Pat Surtain, reigning Defensive Player of the Year, best corner in football. Riley Moss, an ascending young corner on a very cheap rookie contract. Brandon Jones, who had a lot of good highlight takeaway plays last season. Hufanga, an all-pro safety when healthy. Great against the run. Excellent in coverage. He can do it all for you. And then I forgot about Jaquan McMillan. I mean, the absolute spark plug of the DBs who always seems to be around the football, coming up with interceptions and forced fumbles. This is a scary secondary. It is going to be miserable for Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes and Geno Smith to play twice a year because there are not going to be a lot of guys running wide open across the middle of the field. So I think this was a very, very good move for Denver. I like that. With the injuries over the past 2 seasons, there is a fair amount of concern to be had, but with only $20 million guaranteed, we're looking at a 2-year, $20 million contract. That's $10 million a season. Even if it blows up in your face after 1 year, you won't have a very difficult time moving on from him after 1 season. So from a contract perspective, don't be scared by the $45 million sticker price. Remember, during free agency, my rule is subtract 1 year from the total years and apply that number to guaranteed money, and that is what they basically signed. Because that's basically when the team can get out of that contract if things aren't going well. And I think that's always something fans think of when they feel like it's a bit of an overpay. 2-year, $20 million contract for a 2022 All-Pro? I'm not talking about like a pre-2020. I'm not talking about pre-COVID All-Pro. I'm talking about an All-Pro from just 2 years ago, 3 years ago now. So I like this move for the Broncos, like I said. Now, Denver has made a handful of re-signings. This is their first new external signing, though, and I think it's a great addition to the safety room. We're going to check out some of the re-signings the Broncos have already made today, so make sure you stick around for that. But give me your grade for this signing. A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to give it an A. We have seen some players get outrageous money so far at NFL free agency. Milton Williams is making $26 million a year. Guys, yesterday morning, Myles Garrett was making $25 million. And Milton Williams just came in at $26 million after being a rotational defensive tackle in a breakout year. This is the product of increased salary cap, means more room for teams to re-sign their best players, which means very few good players hit the open market. And those that do, they are the belle of the ball, right? They are Ryan Howard in prison. And so teams are going to have to overpay for them. And that's how you get some of these insane contracts. Raiders safety, can we compare really quickly, Reed, what Hufanga signed for what the Jags signed Trevon Merrick for? I would take Hufanga over Merrick 10 times out of 10. And then you add in the contract too. This is an excellent signing for Denver when it came down to which safety would you rather have? I'd rather have Hufanga. Oh, he's also cheaper too on top of that. This is even better than I thought initially. So compare this right now to the the Panthers. The Panthers signing the Raiders safety Trevon Merrick. Yeah, 3-year, $51 million. Give me Hufanga every day of the week over him. And that contract too. Now we can switch gears and talk about some of the re-signings that happened. Denver has made 5 re-signings already. They come off a playoff run. I'm not surprised they want to try and keep some of those core pieces. Well, core is a strong word. Try and keep some of those pieces together. Jarrett Stidham coming back to back up Bo Nix for another year. I think the backup quarterback position is more valuable than people realize. It's basically a coin flip every single year, whether or not your starter is going to go down for a game or two. Seriously. There's that many backups that have their number called. So investing in the backup quarterback position is not a bad move. They brought back their long snapper, made him the 8th highest paid long snapper in the NFL. So good for him. And DJ Jones, I did a video on this late last night, so check that out. I liked the move. I am definitely walking a little bit of it back because of the number. 30 years old, 3-year, $39 million. He played well last year. He's a big part of that run-stopping unit. I get all that. But it's also a great year to go to the draft to find a defensive tackle for way less and way younger. So I thought maybe it's a 1-year, $13 million contract. No, they gave him another 3-year deal. This one was more than the last one. That to me was a little bit of a surprise, but this is also the result of 3 years ago, the salary cap was way less than what it is now. So if teams have more to spend, players are going to want more. We got to remember that as well. And the Broncos also signed or re-signed offensive tackle Matt Peart. He had a good role on special teams for Denver. He was their swing tackle. They didn't have to go to him very much on offense ever. I know McGlinchey missed a little bit of time. Frank Crum filled in there, but Garrett Bowles was reliable. But I'm fine with bringing back some depth at the offensive tackle position. You can never have enough depth at a couple spots. Corner, offensive tackle, defensive end, those are building block spots for teams. So I like the re-signings across the board. I just felt like maybe a little bit too rich for my liking for Jones, but I still like the player, so I can make do with it. But once more, Talanoa Hufanga coming to Denver. I think it's a very good signing. We can look over some of his stats here in just a moment. But 3 years, $45 million. We'll see if he, gets to 45. If he does not play well because of injuries, then it becomes a 2-year, $20 million contract. If he stays healthy and plays well, you're paying an all-pro safety $15 million. That's a very, very good deal right there. That's a great signing given how big the salary cap is right now. So it has my approval. I will definitely stamp it and, check it off here. We can look at some stats for Hufanga. You go back to that 2022 season. 97 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 9 pass breakups, 4 interceptions, including a touchdown and 2 forced fumbles. But we have to acknowledge he has played a grand total of 17 games over the last 2 years. That's easy math, 50% of games. And some Niners fans will tell you he did not look as good, and I think that's probably true, since the ACL tear in 2023, going into 2024 when he just played 7 games with ankle, wrist, head injury. It just all snowballed. Hopefully Hufanga, though, with the full offseason to get healthy, can come onto the field in 2025 and look more like the 2022 version of himself. Before we get on out of here, quick reminder, check out this awesome deal going on at Fanatics where things are 25% off, like this Bo Nix jersey. Go to chatsports.com/fanatics. I put this link in the comments and description of today's video. So if you want to get some Bo Nix gear in your life for a little bit less than what it usually runs for, I invite you to do this now because these sales, they come and go on Fanatics. That will wrap it up for us on this edition of the Broncos Breakdown. I expect us to have more news coming out over the next few days here, so make sure to subscribe, turn on those notifications for you to not miss a single thing when it comes to Denver.